been here for a while. There's a reason for that. I'm sorry I missed the last meeting. I had the opportunity to spend some time with members of the Department of Energy in Washington, as well as some of our senators and congressional leaders, in reference to the project that the city manager brought forward here just a couple of months ago with the FAU project and CEMERAC, the attempt to harness the Gulf Stream current, if you will, right off the shoreline of Lake Worth. And my purpose was to bring them up to speed as to where we were in our partnership with CEMERAC and FAU, and to garner their support for funding when the time is appropriate for that. And I felt that the meetings were very, very successful, and I'm very optimistic that when the time is right, that the funding will be in place so that we will be able to once again show that Lake Worth has been able to take a less than desirable environmental issue and turn it into something positive, much like we did with the landfill, and replacing that landfill with some solar energy opportunities. So I do apologize for not being here for that meeting, but I think that my time was well spent in advancing this issue forward on behalf.
Interestingly enough, when Vice Mayor Maxwell was talking about being up in Washington and meeting with the Department of Energy, we had already been there actually to meet with the Department of Energy before that as well. We put together, I'm so proud to tell you about this, we put together an incredible meeting. We got together the folks at CEMERAC at Florida Atlantic University. We got together Representative Peters, who's the chair of the Energy Committee in Tallahassee. We had Senator Jeff Clemens there, Commissioner Kerner, Representative Berman was there, and we had with us two separate energy Gulfstream current technology scientists that are located in Florida, one in Fort Myers, the other in Gainesville, I believe. Then we had 5 scientists from Sweden, Bavaria, Ireland, what am I missing? And then we had Santa Barbara in California, and scientists that are already working and have been working for years trying to develop different types of devices, equipment on how to harness the power of the Gulf Stream and create energy from that. And we talked about that. I talked about that in my State of the City address at length. What's really interesting about it was you had the scientists that have been working in this field on the phone talking about this. You had a city that was one of the interesting things when we went to Washington, we met with the Department of Energy, and they said, well, we're sorry, we already know that Florida Atlantic University has already identified a site. And I said, yes, sir, that's us. And it was a great moment because, you know, we were the ones that they were talking about in Washington. So when Vice Mayor Maxwell, ironically, while we're having this meeting, or right before this meeting, he had met with them again, and a phone call was made to say, hey, let's move things up after he went and visited a second time. We talk about the synergy of what we're doing and keeping there. When we met with Department of Energy, we met with the outgoing administrator and the incoming administrator. Because we know that with the presidential election, you know, the people that you make progress with and develop relationships with, they're out the door and somebody new is coming in. And it just so happens the person coming in was an incredible young man who had been with the program years back, and he's now coming back in. And Alejandro Moreno is his name in the Washington level. And anyway, all these people were on the phone together, all talking about their programs. Half the people all over the world saying, if FAU, if you build it, we will come. And literally that it's basically a docking device that would link up to a conduit, an energy conduit that would power their experiments to actually help them prove concept. The cool thing for us is when they prove concept and they produce energy, we'll buy that from them to actually give them a viable business plan so that they can get the funding to do that. And we, because we own our own electric utility, can use that renewable energy and subsidize our grid, along with our solar, and making us one of the most renewable energy sources and cities out there, and sustainability factors. So it's very incredible. It was incredible. I wish you could all have been a fly on the wall at that one, but getting that meeting together with all of those scientists and everybody was pretty hairy. But that was an unbelievable thing. So I want to thank the Vice Mayor, because that extra little push made it really put us on the map and got them moving.